All right, now with us on this 500th episode, Dominic Cruz will be like, what the fuck are you talking about for 500 episodes? I don't even know, but it's episode 500, and we are thrilled, honored, humbled to be joined by one of the most beloved and accomplished mixed martial arts fighters of all time, former interim lightweight champion, Dustin Poirier. DP, it's great to see you, buddy. How we doing?
Doing good, man. Thank you guys for having me on, and congrats on the 500th episode.
Well, thank you, man. So I saw you recently in Vegas, and then I believe you were in New York. Where are you now exactly?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
He may not hear us.
Sorry. Something went off. I didn't hear anything you said.
I'm just curious, where in the world are you right now? Are you back home now?
Dude, I'm where Daniel Cormier never comes. I'm in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Too good, man. Too good.
We just finished up a goal with the Good Fight Foundation. We dropped off a check to Food Net and stuff like that, and we're about to have lunch.
Well, we'll let you get right back to it in a minute, but obviously it's an honor for us to have you. And I've heard you recently sort of talk about, needing something on the horizon, whether it's a fight or something foundation related. You've been doing television work. Do you think coaching, even if it was selectively having a few athletes that you cornered in a big show, would be something that allowed you to scratch some sort of competitive itch? Like, does that appeal to you at all?
It does. The thing that doesn't is building a fighter up from a kid and teaching them the basics of jiu-jitsu and the fundamental stuff. I have before worked with other guys who have already established, have careers already and helped them out where I see I can. And I love going through fight week with them and, making the walk to the cage and cornering them. I enjoy that stuff, but it's to not have like a structured school. It's how do I do that? It's hard to just jump in people's corners. So it's guys who I've trained with in the past and have experience with in the gym at American Top Team who I help out with.
Is that something you'd like to do in the future, is kind of be a mentor or a coach for other guys?
Yeah, right now, it's not something I'm chasing, but I do enjoy it for sure.
Is there someone either at ATT or someone that you've worked with or seen that you think, we should keep an eye out for, or someone who you think could really go far in this sport that maybe is just starting their career or isn't in the UFC yet?
I think there was one named Johnny Eblin, but now the whole world knows about him. When people were asking me this same question, a few years ago, I was saying, man, this guy right here is incredible. And now he's a world champion and he's, creating his own legacy. But another guy I think who has a lot of upside is a guy named Cody Law. I believe he's fighting in the PFL now. He was with Bellator. A longtime wrestler, does his camps at American Top Team, but he can box. I think he has an amateur boxing background as well. He can box, has good jiu-jitsu, his cardio is good, and he's committed to the fight game. So I think Cody's going to go far.
And Dustin, I know you've mentioned that you want to do at least one more fight. How does that mind shift a little bit? You've been in pursuit of that world championship for so long, and now you say you want to have one more fight. Does it shift if at all?
It's just the shift needs to be internally about what the motivation for a fighting is, because if it's not about the world title, why am I fighting? And and after the Islam fight, when I got back home, Kenny, I thought maybe this is it. And then a few weeks went by, injuries started hurting less and less, post fight. And I was like, I got to do this again. I've never lost 2 in a row. I can't leave this sport on a loss. Yeah. But at the same time, it's I want to be 100% in it if I'm going to do it again, because I don't want to disrespect the sport or, I honor this stuff I do. And I just want to do it right. But I just want to get my hand raised and leave on my terms with a win, man. But nothing's guaranteed. I go back out there and somebody could whip my ass. That's the thing.
Well, and the other thing too is that you're still so good right now. I mean, you nearly won the undisputed title a couple of months ago. So it's then you go win and then they offer you a shot. It's one more green stripe on the Wikipedia page could very well mean one more title fight. So it sounds like one more in theory, but, a win could put you to right back where, maybe you want to be.
Yeah, that's the thing I was saying going into the BSD fight. If I beat this guy, if I knock him out or submit him and the world's talking about it, I could get a title shot just for my track record. But having done that and then got the title shot I kind of thought I could, I just don't know if I'm one win away from that again. I don't know. Cause the world title is still something I want, but I don't have like another title run in me. I'm not going to fight 3 to 5 times. I could physically, but I just have so much going on and I'm trying to take care of my body.
Yeah. Well, in terms of this one fight, you and I had a discussion recently, and I know you don't like when I put the shine on your TV work, but you did a great job and your voice just carries so much weight no matter what's coming out of your mouth. But as we were talking off camera about one more fight, possible last hurrah or not, when we talk about opponents, there aren't like a ton of them that make a lot of fiscal and competitive sense. One name that I suggested was Nate Diaz, and I don't know if it's 75% majority, but I got a lot of the fan base coming at me or scoffing at the notion that Poirier versus Diaz in 2024 is competitive and that you're not like a 5-1 favorite to beat him. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
The thing with the Diaz is, I'm in contact with the UFC behind the scenes about my next moves all the time. Like we talk, when do I want to fight again? How bad are my injuries? Things like that. And when I brought his name up, the last time I brought his name up, they didn't want to talk about him. They didn't want to do business. He's just, a lot of fans don't know behind the scenes, he's such a struggle to deal with that I think they just don't want to do it anymore. But if it came around, if that was something that was a reality, I 100% would take the fight right now, sign a contract today. And Nate knows that because I've done it a few times, and he can say what he wants. Every time a fight has fell apart with me and him, it's been on his side. It's been him over negotiating. It's been him doing crazy shit behind the scenes, and it's fell apart. I've accepted every fight I've ever been offered with Nate, and I would accept one right now.
All right, 2 more questions with Dustin Poirier, one having to do with what you just mentioned. Do you believe, and journalistically, you're not supposed to ask yes or no questions, but do you believe that your next opponent will come out of this batch of names? Okay. Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor, Alexander Volkanovski, Justin Gaethje, Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira, Colby Covington.
100%.
I mean, I can't fucking come up with anybody else.
Those are some big ass names, man. You're in a good position there, Dustin.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. If I do fight again, and when I do fight again, it'll be definitely one of those guys you just said.
And, I think Covington's probably too much noise. You're looking for reliability, somebody to show up on the date with all due respect, and maybe the preamble with that would be less than desirable. All right, last question having to do with fame. So how do you deal with fame? I would imagine your profile every 6 months even just gets bigger and bigger. Obviously, when you're home and on the road, it's different. But how do you deal with fame?
That's kind of a crazy, deep question, but kind of crazy. Like, I don't know. It's cool, but I don't really deal. I don't know how to answer that. I don't really have to deal with it. I don't really have to deal with it.
Deal with it. I mean, you're on a TV set and you have producers telling you that you need to get mic'd up, and you're acknowledging the fans and taking pictures with fans. So you're very much a man of the people. I've seen other athletes not be nice to people, I guess I didn't phrase the question well when I say, how do you deal with it? But is it beyond your wildest expectation? Because I certainly never wanted to be famous. And when I was with Ken Flo in Vegas recently, I sort of said recently, like, dude, it's just getting to be a little much, And I'm not an athlete, bro. I just have a microphone.
Dude, unless I'm in a rush with my daughter or something, like going through a grocery store or through an airport where I'm in a time thing, I don't mind at all. So I'm happy to see people it makes me happy to see people happy to see me. It's like it works in my favor too. So they're pumped up to meet me. I'm pumped up that they're excited to meet me because I'm me. It's not a big deal to me, but I don't know.
No, it's a good answer. I guess it's like the other day, it's like I'm high as a billy goat and I go to my front door and it's United Air Conditioning. And it's like, next thing you know, I'm taking a picture in my podcast studio up in my master bedroom with the AC guy, and I'm stoned. And it's like, maybe I just need to be more aware. I love the fans. I'm just not always ready, I guess,
You got to be ready, man. You got to be ready.
Got to be ready. Hey, thank you for hopping on episode 500. Have a great day with the foundation, Good Fight Foundation, everything else. And I'm sure we'll see you in the not too distant future, brother.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you guys, and congratulations again on the 500th episode. And Ken Flo, I haven't seen you in person since we cut weight in Vancouver or somewhere. We were fighting on the same card. Do you remember that?
Of course I do, man. And it's so great to see good people, hardworking people like you, to see the success that you've achieved since then, dude. I'm so happy for you, man. Congratulations.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you, guys.
See you.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you very much. Dustin Poirier, the living legend, with us here on the Anik and Florian podcast. So recently I was asked to come up with the top 3 moments in Dustin Poirier's career. What a difficult exercise, right? He'll go into the modern era wing of the UFC Hall of Fame on the merits of what he has accomplished. But in terms of a fight of his, I think the Dan Hooker fight for me would be the one that I would put in the Hall of Fame. There are others, obviously. I mean, he's had so many legendary fights, Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje, Eddie Alvarez. There's tons. But gosh, that fight, June of 2020, and that second round at the UFC Apex, Dustin Poirier against Dan Hooker, one of the most memorable rounds that I have ever called. All right, real quickly, that list of potential Poirier opponents. Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor, Alexander Volkanovski, Justin Gaethje, which would be 3. Max Holloway would be 3. Colby Covington, Charles Oliveira. Oliveira would be 2. Any thoughts on those particular matchups, knowing that the UFC maybe is lukewarm on Nate Diaz and knowing that the Conor McGregor quadrilogy or tetralogy, 4th fight, probably not going to happen anytime soon?
A tremendous list, my friend. Justin Gaethje is the one that stands out. I think, you finish the trilogy, you have the trilogy to build up. For where both of those men are in their careers, I think it makes sense. That's a juicy one, man. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. And again, depending on who that matchup is, if it's Dustin Poirier against Charles Dubrox Oliveira, you go beat Charles, right? You're
right
probably not going to submit your retirement paperwork and get out of the drug testing pool. Some man who is never in any drug testing pool. I wonder if he tests his employee at the Paradise Canteen of Las Vegas. Big Ron Pellegrino, live from the Villa at the Virgin Hotels. My man, no 500th episode would be complete without your face. Do you drug test your bartenders and your servers?
Yeah, we have a different way. When I hire them, I roll a joint and I hand it to them. If they don't light it, they're out.
Right. There you go. Yeah.
Let's test you if you can finish this. Yeah.
So I know you